What's going on, guys? So today I've got Formula 1 cars from the 70s for you. And that's such a big jump from what I've been doing, but this car came out recently, say probably a few weeks ago on Automobilista 2. This car and that other car that I just passed by, that white one, and they were basically featuring 1970s, well, I'd say probably mid-1970s, mid to late 1970s Formula 1 cars. So I said, you know what? I like racing old or retro Formula 1 cars, or just old race cars in general. Let me try this out and see how good it is. So, San Marino Grand Prix from 1970. Now, I first want to say I actually really love this track from back in the day. I think this is probably one of my favorite layouts of Imola, other than, of course, the 80s and 90s. And the one right now, because I really enjoy the one right now. But this one is such a quick circuit that you almost look at it and it's like, wow, this is basically Imola now. They just really slow the cars down a little bit more. But this, you see, like this part, this is basically Imola now. You know, and then there's a straightaway. And then you just go straight the whole time, just like Imola now. You know, it's just a little bit different now. Of course, the pits don't look the same, but this is still like super cool. So, again, guys, I want to apologize for the skips. That's really annoying, but it'll actually stop doing that. When I watch this again, it'll stop doing that. But this race was really exciting, and the result will probably shock a lot of you, but you'll see why. Why I got what why I ended up where I did. This was just a 10-lap race. I didn't really want to go too far because I thought about doing a full race. Then I was like, well, I don't want to bore people. Not that the races are boring. These races are fun to watch, even when I'm sitting there watching them. But sitting there doing commentary for almost 2 hours. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that unless I started talking about, 1970s Formula 1. But even then, yeah, I knew that would be a long, drawn-out commentary. So, anyway, started off P20. I started off last again in this race. And this was actually what I was talking about when I said that I did a setup. So for this car, like I said in my very last video, my very latest video. Well, this is my latest one, but the one previous to this one, I actually had to set up the car, and this is on the hardest difficulty. Now, on most simulators, on Automobilista, I have never had the hardest difficulty. So this race was surprisingly not so bad for the hardest difficulty. On top of that, this is almost the most aggressive AI. So, as you can see, I'm like really catching up to them very quickly. Now, one thing I do want to say with this setup that really, like I said, is base setup basically, except I did caster, camber, gear ratios, and that was pretty much it. And I did a few. One thing that I did not do correctly was cornering. The whole race, as you can see, the AI should not be catching up to me like this. As soon as we get on the straightaway, I'm gone again. That was the only annoying part about the entire race. So, just so everyone knows, I am in the Lotus 79. And these cars, at least on Automobilista 2, are in beta. So, I got it early because I paid for the season pass that they had. And I was like, okay, I can't wait to see what Automobilista has in store. They've got some pretty cool cars and tracks in store so far. I like what the team is doing. I like what Reitz is doing. So, I think that their physics and everything is improving. AI is really, really strong. So, you know, sometimes they act stupid, but that's each and every AI. You know, I haven't run into an AI that's perfect. It's never going to happen. R-Factor 2 has really good AI. Let's see, who else does? iRacing surprisingly has some very good AI as well. But anyway, there's some simulators with great AI. ACC has some great AI, which is Assetto Corsa Competizione. But anyway, I start drifting off into other stuff. So on the straights, I was hitting nearly 195 miles an hour, where the AI is probably hitting 185 miles an hour. So I'm beating them by 10 miles per hour. For instance, on this straight. Now, I back out of this one. Thought better of it, honestly. There's one slip up in these cars, man, I'm trying to tell you. You see how the back end wants to step out, it wants to have fun with me. The car wants to dance with me, so I'm like, okay. Especially here, this was probably one of the most annoying parts. In that turn, I had to correct so much counter steering, and I shouldn't have to do that. Here too. That's where I suffered the most in this race. Those two places right there. So I'm glad that I set up the car almost correct. I wasn't far, and I was very impressed. I was beating the AI. I was going almost 200 miles on the straights. So gear ratios I did fantastic. But cornering, not so much. Braking was also very good. I locked up probably one time the whole race. Look at that run. Passed. It was a lot of steering. Maybe I'll do a full championship. So Imola is so not supposed to be the first race, but maybe I'll do. Oh boy, really got loose there. But you see, that's what kept happening. Maybe I'll do a full championship on the 1970s, because there's a few tracks that I can do that. I think Silverstone is one of them, where I can come in Automobilista 2 and do some. Now Automobilista 1, which has some great physics and tire models as well. I can also, which that was actually what I was planning, some videos I want to do some from. I was planning some videos where I can do 1980s championships, 1980s Formula 1 championships, 1990s Formula 1 championships. You'd be surprised, in Automobilista 1, there's a lot of mods out there that have full, great sounding and driving from older Formula 1 cars, as well as the full track list of a season. So I'm going to definitely find those. I actually have it on a drive, so I'm going to find those and do it for you. Have some fun with that. Maybe full races, not really sure yet, but yeah, I have a lot of fun with that. I also thought about doing an American Formula 1 championship for everyone. I think that'll be pretty exciting. A lot of American tracks, the Formula 1 cars should be running around. Come in closer to the pack. Not too far now. See how every lap I'm getting closer. Not too sure what happened here. They just kind of stopped. And I guess somebody locked up, and yeah, that was probably the weirdest part of the race. It just came so out of nowhere. I was like, okay, I'll take the position. Drift music plays. Yeah, that wasn't good. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna use that again. So be prepared. If you guys watch this video, just be prepared to see that on my social media on Monday. Yeah, that messed up the rest of the race. I'll just be honest. That nice little drift messed up my whole race, and it messed up my front wing and everything. You can't tell, but trust me. If you were driving, you'd be able to tell. So at this point, I'm P8. I'm in 8th position. I was in 5th before that, and I had about, I think we're on the last lap now. That just really messed me up, man. I couldn't even get close enough. It just, man, it really messed up. It really messed the car up. What happened there was, I think not necessarily locked up, but I broke really hard in this corner a lap earlier, and my tires were hot. So when I broke too hard again, naturally I spun and I counter steered it enough to where I didn't mess up my race and nobody hit me, which was the good part. I ran into the railing, and that's what really happened. But now I'm not going as fast, and I need to draft, and now I'm too far. So I just said, all right, I'll just do what I can. I mean, like I said, from where I finished, race is not over, guys, but where I finished, that was a very good result for somebody that started last. And like I said, I didn't qualify last. In fact, I looked at lap times later, and I hit a whole second earlier. So yeah, race over. Yep, that was the end. Just slowing down. So I ended up getting 8th place. Not my best result, but like I said, could have had first, but that's okay. Boy, that's okay. Sometimes it happens, but I mean, 8th position from 20th position is really good. I got a top 10, so like I said, I may do this championship, but I was just, man, it messed me up so bad. I was in 5th. I was right behind these two guys, about to catch them. I just blew it. And at this point, I knew I had like no more fuel. So I made it to the pits, thankfully, as you'll see in a few seconds. But yeah, that race was really fun. Short, 10-lap race. Like I said, I didn't want to bore you guys with 1970s Formula cars, but I love Formula One. I love open wheel cars. That's my thing. And somebody hits me in the back in the pits. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all my social media. Keep up with me. It's KO, aka K.O.King, and I'm out.